The German company Zeiss Ikon made cameras from 1926 to 1972, among others this Nettar camera. It was a very popular model, and it was made mostly for the amateur market, even if the quality was just as good as it was in the more expensive models. I bought this camera for about 70 euros, and in fact it's about 70 years old, just as old as me. Does it function? To try out the camera with film, I took it to a small harbour near where I live. Fishing used to be an important industry. Here in southern Norway there are many idyllic places for a photographer. I use a light meter to get the correct aperture and shutter speed. I estimate the distance to the chair approximately. The camera turns out to work perfectly. In earlier times there were many wooden boats here in Trollbergvika. It is always important to take the picture from a good angle. I must emphasize that I am not a photographer, but for more than 40 years I was a journalist, and the camera was my daily tool. Photographing meant black and white film and daily work in the darkroom. Today I take a shortcut and scan the negatives. The editing in Photoshop, however, is pretty much the same as I would have done in the darkroom. Nettar is a medium format camera that uses 120 film. The negatives are 6 by 6 centimeters. The film is secured tightly before the back panel is closed and locked. As you can see, the film must be advanced quite far before you reach the first frame. The bellow release easily. Focusing ranges from just under a meter to infinity. You need to measure or estimate the distance approximately yourself. On the top of the lens you set the aperture and select the shutter speed. This model has an aperture range of 4.5 to 22 and shutter speeds from 1 to 100 to 1/25 of a second. The shutter must be cocked before you can press the shutter release. This Nettar has both a self-timer and the option for a cable release. Various Nettar models are equipped with different lenses. My Nettar has a novel lens with a focal length of 75 mm. The first Nettar cameras were made in 1934. My model was produced from 1951 to 57. The camera has a built-in viewfinder. You only see what you are photographing. As soon as the picture is taken, I advance the film. My camera does not have a double exposure prevention mechanism. The camera has a 1/4 inch thread, so I can mount it on a tripod. Like I did when I took a picture of myself using the self-timer. All the black and white photos that you see in this video come from this Nettar camera. But in order to make the recordings I had to have 2 Nettar cameras. And I have. Here I am on my way to an abandoned house. It's located deep in the forest, and it's been a long time since anyone has lived here. We have many such places in Norway. Black and white conveys that hope and people are gone. Ideal for images with atmosphere. I have been an avid e-bike rider for the past 10 years, and I always bring my camera with me. Should you buy a used Zeiss Ikon Nettar or another old camera? If you want to try analog photography in medium format, my answer is yes. The best thing is, of course, to hold the camera in your hands before you decide whether to buy it or not. If you have to base your judgment on photos, they must be good. Feel free to ask the seller for more photos of the camera. If he or she is serious, you'll get them right away. All old cameras will have signs of wear from use, but they shall not have dents that suggest that they have been dropped.